Everybody, and welcome back to Grave New World, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG, where I get to play all the people in the Buffy world except for my players. That's a weird intro. Anyway, for little guest star from our producer. First things first, character art is courtesy of Hero Forge, and background images are courtesy of Pixabay. Real quick, let's introduce our players. We'll start, I'll go from left to right today. Bat Kyle, who are you? What do you do?
I am Bat Kyle. That is actually most of what I am and what I do. I am, of course, in this show on Mondays. I GM the last hurrah of Honest John Rackham on Tuesdays. That's Deadlands for Loaded, with our wonderful producer and a pretty fantastic cast of people who put up with my chaos and winging it all the time. Besides that, of course, I mod for my lovely better half, Gloriosa, when she blesses us with stream. And beyond that, do not perceive me.
Okay, everyone stop perceiving them. Next, Gloriosa!
Hello, I'm
Oh.
Blaze of Gloriosa, like on Twitch and Twitter and everywhere. I stream sometimes. I will be playing your favorite. We don't really know what each other are yet, do we? Your favorite human with a book, Essia. She has books. She has some knowledge, just enough to get herself into trouble. It's probably about it. So
Good. Awesome. Next is Eddie.
Hi, my name is Eddie Elfman. I'm an Edmonton-based voice actor. You can find me here on Monday evenings, like you are right now, playing Cheryl Dar, the witchy woman from down south. And on Thursday nights, you can find me on Deviant Futures on this exact same channel, playing Mizio, the Oathbreaker Paladin. Maybe going steady with Tiamat. We don't know just yet. And besides that, you can find me outside of Edmonton. You can find me on the internet by clicking on my link tree. You can find me on TikTok, on Instagram, maybe voices.com if you have a project that you want to invite me on. And then also in the next couple weeks, I've just finished producing and is now in the final check stages of my second audiobook, but first produced audiobook. So if you want to check out the description of the book itself and give it a check out, maybe buy the digital copy, and then maybe you can read along while I narrate it to you. Who knows? Just give more money to that author. Thank you.
I have to ask, just real quick, does dating Tiamat technically make you part of a polycule?
That is very interesting. I'm gonna try. In Deviant Futures, Tiamat is married to Bahamut, and I am trying to cuck Bahamut. Because that is just the natural order of things, if you know anything about D&D lore.
taking oath breaking to like higher levels.
Oh yeah.
Like the maximum level.
Okay, last but not least, Mana Queen.
Oh man. Well, how do I follow up that, Eddie? I mean, I have nothing as interesting as dating Tiamat on my resume, but like, okay. Pretty much, I currently exist here on Monday nights, playing your lovable Slayer, Ash. I used to be over on Wandering Haven Publications every Wednesday afternoon. I am no longer there, but they still stream every Wednesday afternoon, so be sure to check them out. It's a great group. I just have stepped away from that for the moment. So pretty much I'm here full time on Monday evenings. You can find me in the Twitterverse by Mana Queen Gaming, and pretty much on every other social by Mana Queen. So that's where I'm at.
And I am Chris, your lovely director for this game. I go by Wayward Knight or Wayward Knighted on social media and the internets, depending on if Wayward Knight was taken or not already. I sell my art on the internet. I am a Detroit-based actor and artist. Support your small and local artist friends. You can find me here. It definitely needs an update. I don't know when that's going to happen. But without further ado, let's get started. I believe I talked to you guys. I forgot to remind you guys about this. but I like to ask my players to recap what happened last time because I like hearing their perspectives. So do I have a volunteer?
Oh, Ye will
Okay.
go first.
Yes.
Ye went to the party knowing something was going to happen because he only feels certain compulsions when there's a need for him to be there. And it was definitely more than he expected to happen. And he's trying to figure out how exactly it screws up his life. Because let's face it, being tangled up with the Slayer and others just means your life is going to be very complicated.
To say the least.
Yep. He's also kind of thinking about hanging Tweety Daddy from a flagpole by his underwear for how badly he's handled everything so far.
Oh my
I
god, I
appreciate
forgot.
that. I did start a list of all of the Tweed nicknames, and I am adding that.
Wasn't that
Okay.
what we were calling him? Tweety Daddy?
We
And,
called him Tweety Bird, Ario Tweedwagon, and,
Oh.
and Tweedledee.
yeah, Tweedledum, I believe. So we might downgrade him to Tweedledum.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I started this list. All right, who wants to go next?
I suppose I can. Cheryl was starting off her first day of school as a no-nonsense finance major and found herself at a fraternity party hosted by Kappa Phi with her friends Cassandra, Becky, and Bethany F. Bethany, oh sorry, not Bethany F. That's a mean word I would call her on stream. But actually, I was with Bethany B, who is getting over her breakup with Jordaniel, who's actually currently going out with Bethany F. And the four of us walked in. Everybody looked at us. I almost won a game of beer pong against the Slayer. I didn't know that she was the Slayer just yet, and then was rudely attacked by a vampire, and was saved by Ye and Estia and the Slayer themselves before Tweety Daddy showed up, Mr. Julian Hayes, and proceeded to accost him for his transgressions and microaggressions.
This is why I ask the players. Yes, Glory?
I don't know how to follow that up.
You know what? I'll go next to give Gloria a chance to catch their breath.
Thank the Lord.
So last session, Ash was preparing for the best kickoff party of the year. It's the Rager to start all Ragers. And their day was really weird, to say the least. Lots of weird things happened to them. And then they got to the party and it got even weirder. People that she thought she knew and people she didn't, looking at you, Cheryl. Kind of got in her way of having a good time. And turns out she can kill people for free now. That's a weird skill. And so she desperately needs a drink despite having already been at a party. But yeah, weird things happened. And the person that she thought was one of her good friends seems to know what's going on. And that makes it even worse. So, she's not drunk enough for this. Yeah.
Okay, Glory.
Ye is about to get called to the carpet. So Estia was pretty pleased to be having her her first day at school or whatever. And she has a little bit of a background in this stuff. But she also kind of panicked when the teeth came out, and there was because there's just she was just at this party, and then everything went bad, basically. And she kind of knows people there, like she's familiar with a couple of people, but like, you know, it was also a bunch of strangers, and then this guy showed up, and like she was like hitting this other guy, and it was like in between there was beer pong, and it's really kind of a blur of adrenaline. She's just sort of like afterwards, she's like, that was awesome, right? That was awesome. That was awesome. You got that. That is probably the most significant thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And that's where she's at.
Do you think that's kind of masking the shock?
Yeah. Yeah, she 100% is like has the wild-eyed like going to freak out as soon as she gets unexcited thing, or pass out, not sure which.
Toss up.
Yeah.
The toddler that's been overstimulated.
That accurate, yep. So we left off. Everyone who isn't drunk and passed out has vacated the house. This party went downhill fast, and everyone wants to be gone before the cops show up, or just, you know, to not die. So you got, like, you four and Julian are left standing in the middle of this house and just kind of looking at each other. And I believe the line we left off on was Ash saying, "I need a drink."
What a gorgeous idea. I would much prefer my life if I didn't have any priors, so we should probably vacate.
Yep.
Looking at the broken ass window.
Yeah. You do start to see like some lights in the distance.
Yeah.
They're like maybe a block away, but you probably should book it.
Ye's gonna grab a couple unopened bottles. I'm sure there's something still laying around, and just be like, all right, waffles?
Okay.
If there's chicken involved, then absolutely.
I think we can arrange that. I guess we'll go to Denny's instead of Waffle House then. Come on.
Yeah.
Ash is just swallowing the "I'm gluten free" coming out of her back of her mouth, but okay.
I would prefer that we not talk about things in public.
Have you ever heard a discussion at Denny's in 2 a.m. when everybody's been drinking?
No, I try to avoid Denny's at night. Or
Yeah.
That's exactly
During the
why we're
day.
going there.
Yep. Tweed the wet sprocket. I gotcha. So
I'm
let's
sorry,
just
what did you call me?
Tweed the wet sprocket. Let's go. All right, we can go to my place then, because
Why don't we look? I have an office. It's
Oh, a
very
secondary location. Of course you have a secondary
Right.
location for
Isn't
us
it
all
your
to
job
go
to watch over me? I'm going there
going where?
with him. And like Ash points to Ye. Because like out of Ye, even though she's pissed, he's the one she trusts the most right now.
all right. Screw it. All right, let's go to the office. We'll order some pizzas.
The
Look, we can
dirty look
get
Ash gives.
we can what you guys have DoorDash or something, right? We can DoorDash some Denny's. Just
Yeah, whatever. Let's go.
If you're paying, of course. All right, let's go.
Yeah, so Estia is like, while Tweety Daddy is still talking, like she's basically gonna go around behind him and like push him out the door. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Hurting
Yeah.
We're
everybody.
leaving.
Okay, so he leads you to basically across the neighborhood that is like right outside campus, where all the frat houses and stuff are, and to the university, which it's nighttime, so like there are some night classes happening, but it's not as, you know, like hoppin' as it is during the day. Hoppin'? Busy. He takes you, so if anyone, you guys, none of you guys are freshmen, right?
No,
No.
I'm not.
So if you're familiar with campus, he's taking you towards the library wing.
Of course she's in the fucking library.
Okay. there
Ash
is
hates it here.
there is a quiet hallway. I say it quiet, not abandoned, not deserted. Like there are students, but it's just not as like heavily used, and then he takes you into a classroom, and then in the back of the classroom there is an office, and then he takes you into this very academic looking office, but it's also like there are still boxes sort of in the corners and stuff. Like, he's not done moving into this office, so this office isn't quite his yet, but it's the place that he has to work from.
Does
There-
Cheryl recognize any like volumes about I don't know, esoteric topics, cultish?
Make me a
like,
perception
literature?
notice check.
Right. While she's doing that, Ye is ordering pizza, entering detailed directions, including a gluten-free cauliflower crust for Ash, supreme, unless he remembers that. Is Ash vegetarian or?
No,
Okay.
Ash is just gluten free.
Okay, so a supreme, a pepperoni. It's not ordering a Hawaiian unless anybody asks, but he'll get a cheese and maybe a veggie, or maybe like a regular crust supreme. He'll just get a couple pizzas. He's including a big tip because it's going to be a bit of a trip.
It's actually
Uh,
really fun story. My university was in the same town as the first Domino's ever.
Mm.
That's what
rolled
we
a
were told, at
4.
least. You rolled a 4? Is that
Yes,
with
I'm not-
all of your...
I'm not very perceptive.
Okay, so it's 4 total.
I
especially
believe
right
4
now.
total, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Ash knew it.
They all just look like old, but there's maybe like there's some that have symbols on them, but like you don't know what they mean.
If I could add my occultism abilities, it would become a 9, but yeah, she kind of just is distracted by sussing this man out.
Well, they look like not typical books, but you can't like parse what's like on the spines right now.
I have a cult library. Can I see if I recognize anything?
Yeah. Because you're specifically, you know what, I'm gonna let Cheryl re-roll this too. Both of you roll perception occultism.
I'll take a reroll when it's given to me. That becomes an 11.
10.
Okay. So you both see like you recognize Latin, you recognize some well, looks like maybe like an ancient Sumerian, but I don't know if any of you guys actually like understand or can read ancient Sumerian. One of the Latin words does translate to magic. And then there is a big tome. Actually, make me one more perception notice with like a +2 bonus.
Is it possible to further aid Estia in locating this information? Can I make my roll help her roll?
Yeah, we can
Stacks. I believe you just stack them together, don't you?
Yeah, we can-
That's how it is for attack rolls.
yeah, you can stack success levels.
Okay,
Alright.
so I'm rolling occultism perception again.
No, perception notice with a +2 bonus.
Perception notice. All right. All right. So that was 14 for me to aid Estia in her roll.
Okay,
Cool.
sweet. Oh, there's notice. Okay. And then +2.
Mhm.
8.
Okay, well, good thing that Sherry's helping you, because Sherry notices and kind of points it out to you. There is a large tome that is sort of placed sort of in a pride of place in a very special location, but it's still kind of off in the corner. ornate cover, and it says vampire.
The book. It's the book from the
It's
show.
the book, yes.
Of
Um,
note, Ash is probably like super uncomfortable. Like Ash does not frequent the library. They don't frequent library offices. So they're probably just like over with Yay, just like, yeah, that topic. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, Tweety. Sorry, train of thought went woo. Room. So once you're all in, he closes the door for privacy and he goes over, and there is basically the only furniture so far is like the stock furniture that the office came with. So there's like a desk with a chair and like a cheap but actually kind of comfortable looking couch. And he leans back on the front edge of the desk and he goes, I'm assuming you have many questions.
He's gonna
Yeah.
crack the top on a bottle, take a swig, hand it over to Ash.
Yeah. Ash is gonna go, yeah. Who the hell are you again?
I'm Julian Haynes. I'm your watcher.
Right. I don't need a stalker.
I'm not a stalker. If I wanted to stalk you, I could, but I don't, because I'm not that creepy.
The
That
Watchers are
doesn't-
kind of stalkers. I just
As a
putting that
general
down.
note, a person never feels appreciated when you acknowledge them and say, "I could be your stalker." You should really be more particular with what you say to people.
Yeah.
Oh, touche. Look, I'm new to this.
You're
Interacting
new
with
to this.
people.
General outrage. The whole-
Listen,
You know,
the people who sent me, they're way more stalkery than I am. That doesn't
That's-
sound good
That's
either.
not.
no,
that's
no,
not
okay.
bad.
No.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Just rub your elbow patches a little bit and kind of get more in touch with whatever academic aura you're trying to put out there, and let me cover some things. Because
Yeah,
I think
pass
I'm
me
gonna
the
be a
bottle, please.
little more on the
Ash will
level
literally
here.
just hand Cheryl the bottle. Just like
There you go.
take another swig and hand Cheryl the bottle.
Okay.
So, like I
Look,
said,
I have a spiel. I wrote down a spiel. I'm trying not to be stuffy like the other watchers.
you guys, he wrote down a spiel. He has a speech prepared. We should let him.
Okay.
Ash, that's
He
a
turns
big
he
sigh.
turns to Ash and he's like, I know you have questions.
Nope. I'm good, thanks.
7 stakes ago, our fathers saw fang heads and did not like
Forefathers.
it. Forefathers.
Poor fathers.
All right.
Brought
No, our
forth-
fathers.
So I'm getting the feeling I have more experience with this than you do, whether I like it or not. So I'm just gonna cut in here with what I know, and if you have clarification or you want to put an edge on what I'm saying, go for it.
Of note, as Ye is talking, Ash will hold out their hand to Cheryl for the bottle, take it, and then pass it to Estia. Like they're gonna do like that like middle popcorn thing.
Yeah.
They can like pass it between the three of them as
Yeah.
Ye is talking with this bottle.
Yeah.
Esty is completely down with it.
Yeah.
Yay, take
Julian just goes, fine, college boy. Show me what you know.
You're
not-
basically college age.
I'm a professor. I'm like 37.
Ooh.
Yay's gonna pop out and all right, so the Slayer is pretty much humanity's last line of defense against pretty nasty things. Vampires, demons, werewolves, all sorts of monsters that don't really have a great clarification, evil witches, evil warlocks, all sorts of things. You have power. You saw what you could do back at the house, especially with picking me up. I'm a big dude, and you just went whoop, which was actually kind of fun. But as part of that, and this is pretty common knowledge in the circles I know about, Slayers get somebody who's supposed to be their, like, almost like an agent, somebody who knows all these esoteric crap about where you need to stab a Gojira demon or whatever and what with to make them die, because you're not expected to know all that. You're expected to be the one doing the stabbing.
So you're telling me I can kill people for free?
Not people.
Absolutely not.
I didn't ask you, Tweety McGee. She turns back to you.
Demons and evil things, yes, especially because, as you saw, when vampires die, they leave behind just a little ash.
Ah, that actually is in character. By the way, like
Yeah.
We
I
are in such good hands.
I saw it. He's gonna like hand Ash the joint after he's taken a couple, and then
right to Cheryl it goes. If Cheryl doesn't want it, it can go to Estia.
okay.
Oh, like I said, I'm good without any priors.
Okay. Well, and he'll take it back if nobody else drags, but I have particular knowledge of this. If you couldn't tell, I've got some pretty active knowledge in the field, whether I liked it or not. The reason none of you know about it, or at least don't know much about it, is because it's not, up until now, it wasn't your world. Normal people don't and can't know about this shit for a number of reasons. If all of demon and vampire and whatever kind thought humanity knew, and humanity did what humanity tends to do when it's presented with things it can't understand or control, and the pitchforks and missiles and whatever else humanity can throw at it all come to bear, it's going to be scorched earth. There are terrible things that could be unleashed on humanity, and by the end of it, there'll be no winners, just whatever's left of nature that could survive it all. People
Also,
are dumb and panicky.
It's my understanding that the people in power have no desire to have any of this actually get out, because if you were walking down the street and you knew that there were vampires on the loose, you might not give a second thought as to another human being, if you could imagine that, actually holding each other tight, not being afraid of each other, and having a common enemy. So, a lot of the people in power, or at least the way that I've been told, is that there's a lot of cultish groups that like to work with these beings and get into positions of power and have sort of exchanges and contracts. So
Yeah, that shit normally
even if you were
backfires.
to reveal the truth, unfortunately, there's a lot of very wealthy people that would like to stop you from doing so, or commit you to a nut house, or any of the other things. So it's best to try and keep it under wraps, not because it's not important, but because
Because it is really important.
yes.
Yeah.
So Julian gets very serious and he stands up and he looks at all of you because he clearly underestimated how involved you guys would be in all of this. He was not told that there were other individuals who were versed in
What a shock.
the spooky stuff. I mean, hey, it's the Watchers Council, they sus. He goes, okay, let's start over. I am Julian Haynes. I have been a Watcher for several years now. The Slayer is the one girl in all the world who can fight forces of evil and keep them at bay. That is correct.
Not a girl.
We'll get to that.
Also, aren't there more of them now? I thought there were a whole bunch of them running around like 20 years ago.
That is what I was getting to.
Yeah.
About 20 years ago, there was an incident in a small California town called Sunnydale. The town rested atop a hellmouth. a direct gate from this plane to various untold hell dimensions. With the help of her allies, the Slayer at the time, a girl called Buffy, activated a number of
Sorry,
other...
a woman called Buffy.
She was in high school and then college. She's whatever. And
I'm sorry, you're just gonna hand wave the nomenclature for what a woman is?
no, I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you. Thank you.
I apologize. I'm
We're
very...
just gonna work on it slowly. It's okay, dear.
It's okay. I'm gonna stick to the script, Julian. Buffy activated a number of other young women who had the potential to become slayers, essentially turning them into slayers, and with them activated, they were able to fight the forces of evil and destroy, or at least close, that hellmouth. This, however, resulted in numerous lines of slayers being created, hence your situation being less rare. But no less...
Are you telling me I'm not special?
No, I just said but no less special. Because
Mhm.
you are now the only slayer protecting this hellmouth.
You knew it.
I'm sorry, there's a what now?
What did you know? What?
There's
That
way
wasn't just a joke on the internet that Cleveland had a hellmouth. It was for real.
Oh, it's very real.
Biscuits.
yeah.
Can
So
somebody tell me what a hellmouth is?
I mean,
Like,
go ahead.
It's as I said, it is a direct gate from this plane to various untold hell dimensions.
Thank you,
Other...
Encyclopedia Tweed Canica. That one didn't go very well. I'll have
You
to
know,
work
that
on it.
one wasn't even creative.
No,
No,
no.
there were points. There were points for trying.
I was
I'll give you
trying.
that.
Look,
It's
I'm very
a
high
source
and
of
tired.
all. It's a source of
Tweetopedi-
all bad
Tweet-
vibes. It's a sort of
Tweetopedia
source
would
of
have been
evil.
better.
Yeah,
Tweet-
that
Tweetopedia
would-
would have been better.
yeah. It is. It's a nexus.
Encyclopedia.
That's actually what I
Tweetopedia,
meant to
yeah.
say, but it's been a long day out of character,
That's
so
fair.
you're not getting all
Aw.
gold out of me. But it's a nexus for demonic and negative energy, which explains why I've been so fucking busy since I got here.
So demons are, and like Ash just kind of pauses, and whoever has the bottle and the joint, they'll grab both of them at the same time and like swing and just like take a hit, and like they're too sober for like they does not compute.
Oh, by the
Demons-
way. No, never mind. I'm not gonna that out of character. Nope, not gonna say that. Never mind.
demons run the gamut. Some of them are your stereotypical, like, shown in the Bible, big horns, teeth, corrupt people, killing 8 people, whatever. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have peaceful demons, you have balanced demons, they're classified as demons, but they're just not physically human and they just want to live their lives. So not everything paranormal is bad by any measure. I'll do my introduction next because it's, I think, germane to this situation, and I am finally stoned enough to say germane. Awesome. I'm Jacob King, and I am the Oracle, or at least I'm guessing I'm fated to be your Oracle, Ash.
Ash literally like what I just did, partially in and out of character. Ash probably did it in character,
Yeah.
just like sip. You're what now? I already have a stalker. You're telling me that you're my crystal ball, and then she's gonna look at Cheryl and be like, "What? Are you my long lost sister or something?"
Look, you don't have to rub me or anything. I mean, I'm not saying no.
I think you
but-
and I look entirely differently, my dear.
Yeah.
But
The eyes narrowed
Yeah.
just a little bit.
What I mean by Oracle is, since I was a kid, I've seen visions of what would be, whether I liked it or not. eventually those visions, especially as I got older, turned pretty violent and dark. I could see what was going to happen to people. Demon attacks, vampire attacks, cult kidnappings. And a lot of my time has been spent doing what I can to stop that with varying degrees of success. But I get the feeling all of that, especially with how strong the drive was to attend this party when I really wasn't feeling it, was to connect all of this. Because being the Slayer is good, but being the Slayer and knowing where you actually need to be is better. Unless you like just, randomly patrolling.
I mean,
That's
some
just
of
kinda
them do
like-
that too, right?
Yeah, probably.
Is that in or out of character for Estia?
That's in character.
So Ash literally was about to like pinch their nose and turn to Estia and be like, "Oh my god, you too? You too?" Just like hand in the hair, just like
It was just a guess. It was just a guess. Oh my gosh. But that was amazing.
That
Yeah.
sound is that sound is like in character. That
So Estia is like very clearly like has been quiet, but is just really excited and is just like the vibe here, and this is in character. The vibe here is like really down, you guys, but that's awesome. Like you're like a superhero.
Yes, and you did manage to save this damsel in distress. Speaking of which, Julian, do you have any medical supplies?
I have some bandages.
That would be much appreciated.
Oh wait,
And-
has she been like bleeding or something like on the floor this whole time?
She has like
She has
like
a-
paper towel like kind of like taped to her shoulder.
Oh snap.
Wait, if Ash had known that, Ash maybe not.
I did not
Yeah.
remember that she had been
did not.
wounded.
I have taken 9 life points of damage, and that is a considerable chunk for me.
Yep.
Um,
Ash or Ye is gonna grab the other bottle, which is Everclear, and just it's like I'm a physical therapist. I have some basic first aid training, but if somebody knows more, this may be good to clean up the wound.
Thank you, dear.
Julian grabs like a first aid kit that he keeps because college kids are always hurting themselves somehow.
And he's a watcher, so he should have medical gear.
That stuff's in the back with the training room. You don't know about that yet.
Hmm.
This is basic, Professor. First
This is
aid.
basic like professor like the stuff that every teacher needs to have, because
For when you get a paper cut in his history class.
literally like me who like finds cuts that I don't know how they happen, like
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, I was bleeding. That literally has happened before. So he passes you the thing. There's like some like packets of gauze and like some medical tape and alcohol wipes and stuff. Standard first aid package
Mhm.
kit. That's the word.
What kind of wound was like what kind of damage did she take, Eddie?
I believe piercing damage.
Vampire bite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the bite to her shoulder.
Okay. So Estia will go ahead and like kind of scoop the first aid kit and like hop like if Estia is sitting or if Cheryl is sitting on like a couch, like Estia will just sort of like perch on the back of the couch and start like cleaning her up and like
Thank you.
knows her
She
way.
smells great when you get close to her.
I have
just-
no doubt. Oh my goodness.
Smells like
She puts her
garlic
hair
and
to the
Chanel
side.
number 5.
Yeah, we could remember the garlic bread.
But the garlic is
Yeah.
pairing nicely, strangely. Mechanically,
You know,
she just smells nice.
garlic and lavender. Okay.
Now,
Um,
just to be clear, I know you saw me do some stuff on my own, at least Cheryl did. I'm not a watcher. Or not a slayer. I'm also, I'll just get this out there. I'm not entirely human.
The look that Ash gives Ye, it's both it's both disbelief lined with hurt, but also lined with what the actual fuck.
A lot of demons can breed with humans. A lot of them can't, but some of them can, and Dad was one that could. He and Mom are very happy together. They have a whole catering business. I know you're hurt, Ash, but once again, up until tonight, I didn't know you knew about any of this shit. And let's be
I
honest,
didn't.
if you didn't need to know, would you want to? Honestly,
Yes.
No.
Ash will be like, yes, have you looked at me?
yeah, a lot.
And then Ash was literally like mid like reaching to like poke Ye in the head where like demon horns would be, right? Like,
Yeah.
to be like, and like they probably pause at like, oh, huh.
And he just says it like nonchalantly, not even like
Yeah.
flirtily or anything. Just like, yeah, is like, and let's just get this out of the way. He
Yeah.
takes a
Just like,
deep breath
oh.
and sort of shakes his head, and he like gets a little bigger. Not so much
Huh.
that his clothes rips, but he gets a little taller, a little broader. His skin turns sort of a pale blue, silvery, uh, almost like frost on a window pane. Little
Mhm.
bits of silver, uh, just kind of crawl over his skin,
love
like
that for him.
really beautiful tattoos. His eyebrows become like a almost not quite scaly, but like a brow ridge, like sort of pointy brows. His fingernails get a little longer, not like claws, but just longer, thicker, and darker. When he smiles, his the canines are a little more pronounced. His teeth look just a little sharper, but not like, he's got a bear trap for a mouth or anything like that. And his eyes go completely this like jade green.
Ash probably watches all of this happen and like slowly just like backs up and like accidentally ends up sitting right next to Cheryl. And that way that like you didn't realize that somebody was right there. So like the sides of their thighs are probably like together because she's like, and she's like sitting right next to Cheryl. And she like this is Cheryl and goes,
Just such smooth skin. Like she shaved like less than 5 minutes ago, and you didn't watch her shave. But she notices she doesn't have any issue with a demon being in the room, but she's paying close attention to what Julian's reaction is to this.
Ashes is kind of like, oh, and like looks at Cheryl. So ST is behind Cheryl, like position, so like probably just like, oh, and like sits right next to Cheryl, slightly leans against Estia, and it's just like, eh.
And this is another.
Estia's-
Oh, go ahead, Estia.
Estia is just sort of gonna lean down a little bit and be like, "You have your own personal Hulk."
And he's just gonna pinch the bridge of his nose for a moment, and like just goes back to being the yay everybody knows. Ugh, that's always weird.
You see Julian, and he's like clearly just thinking. Like, it's a little hard to get a read on it, but he's definitely processing this, but
Yeah.
very quickly.
Look, Ye has no doubts that he's a smart man, but he seems like one of those really smart people who doesn't know how to people very well because they're so smart. He's just gonna go, look, I know it's weird. There's a lot more to cover. But the powers that be wanted us to meet like this. What happens from here, I haven't seen yet, and maybe I won't.
So you saw yourself having this conversation and revealing yourself to us and me in this outfit injured?
Somewhat. I knew it was important. What I saw was the vampire attack. happening.
And no forewarning, eh?
What was I going to do? Wander in and be like, hey, everybody, vampires are going to be here. You know what the fuck was going to happen? People would be like, oh, Twilight, that's so fucking great. Sparkly vampires. Or they would laugh at me. Nobody would believe me. I'd be kicked out for trying to crush the party. Who the fuck was I going to tell? I didn't know any of you knew any of this shit.
Obviously, you go to the most fashionable, attractive woman who is going to be the prime suspect and target for any sort of vampire attack. I'm a magnet to these things.
Actually, normally they look for the inconspicuous people, the mousy woman who's not going to be missed, that guy who never had the drive, who just didn't know how to talk to women and always sit at the edge of the crowd. Those are the victims they want, because those are the victims everybody's going to look around and be like, oh, I just guess they left. And when they don't show up to class for 2 weeks, like, oh, I guess they dropped out.
They
That
want
was a
somebody
brilliant
that
save.
won't be missed.
And literally was like, Ash would be like, oh, Cheryl, you'd be missed.
Exactly.
So the sarcasm is heavy in that, by the way.
She doesn't choose to think about the sarcasm. She just goes straight into it. She goes, yeah, it would be. Oh.
Estia just sort of gives Cheryl a little pat on the shoulder. She's got, the bandage taped in place and stuff, and is like, well, I'm pretty sure you don't need a blood transfusion. So
no, you're not going to turn into a vampire. That vampire doesn't have any power over you.
Aw.
It's just, I mean, in part because Estia, went all Van Helsing on his chest, which was pretty boss.
Yes,
admit.
thank you for
Good
that.
job with that, by the way.
thanks. Thank you. I just meant from the blood loss.
Oh, yeah, that too.
No.
Yes, well, thank you very much for having a look at it. I do feel quite a bit better.
Pat, 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 pat. Not
Okay,
on
you
the
can
wound,
stop
though.
touching me now.
Not on the wound. Not on the wound. So Julian is going to just sort of take a deep breath, and first of all, he is going to say, I apologize for the rude introduction, and at the risk of sounding like I'm only trying to save face, I don't normally speak like that. I represent an organization
The
called-
Lollipop Guild.
I don't wear enough colors for that.
The Tweety Pop Guild.
Tweety
Hi,
Pop
gang.
Guild. Ash is gonna give Esther like a little high five on that one. Yeah.
I mean, do I have to write that one down?
Yes.
Yes, Tweety Pop Guild.
Cheryl's just on a blackboard right next to them, just writing them down.
Cheryl
That's
just
a good one.
summons
And
a
putting tally
blackboard.
marks.
Cheryl literally summons a blackboard, writes it down, desummons it, and disappears.
Yeah, I guess one of the things that she's doing is controlling a piece of chalk with her mind from across the room and is just writing down the names and tallying them.
Julian's gonna put a pin in that one for a minute. He does clock it though. The Watchers have been responsible for training the Slayer for generations, beyond generations, and now that there are, well, let's put it this way, usually there is one Watcher who is chosen to train the Slayer, and they are heavily qualified, and not that I'm not qualified, hold on, we're gonna back that up. They are the cream of the crop. With so many Slayers existing now, it's not that we're not the cream of the crop, it's just that recruitment is low for any generation of Watchers, and
you can't dump all your training eggs into one basket anymore.
You're telling me that you're my last option? And
No.
Ash is literally gonna be look at Ye and be like, I choose you, Pikachu.
no, I am not the last option. I was they what happened was they had to pull me from training, or that's okay.
You're a
There's-
COVID watcher?
What?
There's no good
Oh,
way
right.
out
Oh,
of it.
COVID wasn't canon. Oh, sorry. Out of character.
You
Forgot
took an
we just-
online training course?
He decided that COVID wasn't canon. Yeah, you
Or
took an
correspondence.
online course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got the-
Correspondence watcher.
You're a correspondence watcher?
Got your watcher degree from University of Phoenix Online.
No, actually.
University of New
I
Hampshire?
studied abroad. I
Uh,
studied abroad in England, where they are headquartered. So I am fully certified. Thank you very much.
I don't
I-
necessarily believe you. Where are they headquartered in England?
I'm not allowed to tell you that.
Damn it.
So, Texas.
No. I wouldn't be
Mm.
caught dead in Texas. Sorry, Texas.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
out of character, no offense to anybody from Texas. Some of my best friends are from Texas. Just
All
all
my
that
exes live in
state-
Texas.
Jokes.
Ba-doom.
This is going great.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Look, what I can tell you from what I know about Watchers, because they don't just watch the Slayer. I was actually trained by an ex-Watcher that my dad knew in hand-to-hand combat and medieval weaponry, which I really didn't want to ever use, but fuck, do I use it more?
You mean like a maze? Can you use a maze?
Yes.
can
Crossbow?
you use a shuriken? Like, I just totally like, wait, what?
Yeah, I could use a lot of things competently enough not to take my own fingers off, but most of what I fought is vampires, so wooden weapons work best. But I have a feeling that he's had a lot more training from, top fencers or whatever than I've had. So
Sorry,
I'm here to
do you have an armory, Julian?
Do you have an armory?
No,
I was just
I'm
gonna
not.
save. I was just gonna save VA from answering that question, like turning it back on Cheryl, who also seems to know a lot. That's the whole point of that.
No, I'm not. I'm not particularly packing. I didn't think that I would have to. and,
Oh, right. Yeah, yielding a weapon would break a nail. The horror.
hold on. I have
I'm
to
sorry. Are
ask.
you using a regressive stereotype about my ability to handle firearms? Give me a fucking gun, and I'll show you.
All right, hold on. Before
Sorry,
this,
that was a bit of
no,
bit of
I
Southern
liked it.
spice coming out.
I like the spice. Were you the one that yeeted that bust into the vampire, or at least towards the vampire with no hands? Because unless there was like another witch or something hanging around there, or a poltergeist I didn't fucking know about, that was pretty boss.
Well, I appreciate your compliment. Yes, I needed to do some undecorating in that gaudy mansion.
Hmm.
Out of character, somebody remind me. No, well, no. Well, yeah, I mean, somebody remind me. Did anybody else take damage, like visible damage, from the interaction with the vampires?
I think it was just Cheryl.
I think it was just Cheryl too.
Yeah, one tried
Yeah.
to bite.
Cheryl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just Cheryl was hurt.
Yeah, just Cheryl was her. Just
And here's the thing
that.
that I'm sure Julian is going to throw the Watcher a bone there, that Julian was going to get to. Even if you don't want to do this, you're going to find yourself pulled into doing it, Ash. You can feel, you can feel evil. You can feel vampires. You have the skills, and it's going to be like a compulsion. At least that's what the ex-Watcher told me. Because I was curious about Slayers. Is that right, Julian? Look, I'm trying not to totally steamroll over you on this one, but
You were Slayer
You-
curious.
Do you want my job? Like I can.
what does it pay? No, actually no. I've got my own shit. I'm here to help. I'm just trying to put things in a way they're gonna understand, because you weren't getting there.
I was not allowed the opportunity.
Exactly.
sorry, you look like 20 years older than you are with your And Ash just like gestures.
With
He's
your
in a very
professorness.
well-tailored jacket. Like,
And told Ash that he was their
All right.
stalker. Like,
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask everybody to we're gonna give Julian 5 minutes to get out what he feels he needs to get out. Let's try not to peanut gallery this and just let him say his piece.
Oh yeah, the written speech. He wrote something.
Ash will visibly sit on their hands. Just like
all right, well, here's the gist of it. Jacob is correct. Being the Slayer is inevitable, regardless of how you identify. There are individuals who are chosen, and whether you cooperate or not, you are now a target. You are a magnet for the evil things to try to eliminate. And you will feel and sense these evil things, and you will be compelled to end them. This is not a choice, and it has been... this is me not being able to think of the word. It has been brought up in the past that prophecies like this are problematic. Unfortunately, not even the highest of the Watchers Council can control that. This is something ancient and deep and powerful. And it is yours now. And I'm here to help you. I am sorry that I said that stalker stuff. It was supposed to be a joke. It clearly did not come out that way. If you must know, I'm very flustered because I was put into this position very quickly. We were not expecting the previous Slayer to be killed, obviously.
I could die. Ash promised she wouldn't interrupt, but like she just like at that she's like, I'm gonna die?
You're not guaranteed.
That's not encouraging.
No.
There's going to be a lot of wicked people that would like to do you harm.
Okay.
And I believe that Tweety Daddy is saying that he's here to lighten the burden and help you as an assistant.
Okay. Ash is still like sitting on their hands, like listening.
Ash, if I may, can I interject, Julian? I'm actually asking if you want to keep talking. I will.
Basically, okay. I'm gonna... all pretenses aside. And he like starts to talk way more normally like an actual American.
I knew it.
More normally. How dare you?
Look, your
Essie
job
is just
hard.
like this at Ye.
Okay.
Your job's
Anyways.
gonna be hard. My job's gonna be hard. We're probably both scared shitless. I'm supposed to be the authority figure here, but you don't have a Slayer when you're training, and then you suddenly have a Slayer. We're in this together. I know that gives you no confidence. But look around you.
We're all
Ash is literally going to look at Ye, who's high as shit, Cheryl, who she thinks is gonna break a nail yielding a steak, and Estia that she met 2 hours ago, and then be like, what? That's her analysis of that. Like, what?
Ash, I've been doing this for years.
Didn't ask you, hi McGee. her McGee is like her like default. Like, didn't ask you. She will look back to Julian, right, and be like,
What it seems like is that a
Something as mystically significant as the Watcher is like a nexus, not just for bad, but for good.
this
Believe
this place draws energy to it, not just bad. Obviously, the Slayer's here, and the Slayer is good, and we need to make sure that good prevails over evil. And I would hope, seeing as you three, they, Julian looks at Ye and Estia and Cheryl, and he says that you three, being the ones who stood up to the creatures tonight and apparently have a significant amount of knowledge on this subject, would endeavor to help. And he says that more as a question rather than an assumption.
Ye's just gonna be like, yeah, I mean, I had to be here, and even if I didn't, Ash is a friend, even if I've had to keep things from them, and you don't leave friends to fight vampires on their own.
Ohana means family?
Ohana means family.
Is that all in character?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
I was like, given Ash and Ye's friendship, absolutely that's in
Yep.
character.
Julian's just gonna be like,
I suppose the reasonable thing to do would be to say that I owe you all one for taking care of my life and ensuring that I keep living it. So I will give you some aid where I can, but my abilities to fist fight ne'er-do-wells and frat houses is not exactly tip-top. More of a reader and planner than someone that gets into brawls.
Yeah,
Don't
let
worry.
those of us who can throw a punch deal with it. But Ash says that with like a little bit of like quiet venom, but then at the same time also simultaneously passes the bottle back to Cheryl. So like it's like
Yeah.
a
Look, I can't
And
tell
then
you how
Julian-
useful that kind of knowledge will be, because my way of solving most things has been to go in and kick the shit out of everything, and that doesn't work well for summoning circles that you have to break in a certain way to not have a house go up in flames.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, Ash isn't
So
there yet.
to-
Ash is like enemy of my enemy is my friend. So
I
Really
can
not.
start. I
in
can start
response
working out
to,
again. I've just been focusing on my studies.
sorry, Chris, go ahead. Sorry, we're talking over you.
in response to what Sherry said, Julian goes, we can work on that. And he walks over to, well, he goes to his desk and opens a drawer, and he grabs something, and then he also goes, would anyone like a Hostess cupcake?
Dude,
What now?
He just takes like a couple Hostess cupcakes, and like one for Ye, one for Ash, one for Esty, one for Sherry, just like cupcakes.
It's gonna get gently placed back into the drawer that he grabbed it out of as it floats back over there.
Estia is gonna
yourself.
give hers to Ye.
bomb. He's just gonna, and he's just, the kind of big guy who can take a whole cupcake, and one of these is like,
Ash is actually weirdly really freaking hungry. So even though they hate like Hostess cupcakes, is that like they will like they are gluten free. They're so where's the pizza, by the way?
Pizza should be here soon. Tracker says
Yeah.
they're about 5 minutes out.
Yeah. Ash will risk it all and like take a bite of the cupcake because they're so hungry, and then like give the rest to Ye.
Yeah, he gets
So-
all the cupcakes.
Yeah.
So he closes the drawer again. Having not expected that reaction, but like not surprised.
I mean,
And
we are kind of hotboxing his office right now, or at least Ye is.
and he goes over to a side door that you hadn't noticed before because it is like the same color as all the walls. And he opens it with a key, and the door swings open, and you can see if you're just like looking inside from like where you're standing, you can see like a large sort of empty room, but there's it looks like there's like mats on the floor, and you can see like the glint of something off to the side. And he
Oh,
looks you.
Got a little dojo. That tracks.
Yeah, he looks at you all and he goes, "Would you like a tour?"
Properly.
Y'all go for it. I'll wait for the pizza and join you. I might need to go out and get the guy.
You're gonna leave me
That's
alone?
always what happens.
Okay, well, since Ye is leaving Ash alone, and she currently tolerates Cheryl, she's gonna like scoop up Estia by the hand and be like, "Okay."
Okay.
Like Estia has no choice but to come.
Especially with Slayer strength.
Yeah, honestly, it probably is with player strength. So, like, sorry, Estia, about that. However,
Just
you want to play
yank her
that.
arm out of her socket. It's no big deal. So, you step inside, and in a cage, there is to the left, there is like a wall of various weapons, like axes and throwing knives and swords of all different kinds, and shuriken, and like a whole pile of stakes and stuff. And then the floor is covered in mats. There are punching bags off to the right, and various other like blocks and obstacles to train with and stuff. And Julian looks at you and goes, "This is where we'll train. For the physical things, at least."
You wouldn't I'm just gonna put a little bit of her charm on. You wouldn't happen to have any firearms or wooden bullets, would you?
No. We don't do guns, usually.
You know
Julian
that
just
you're in America,
rose-
right?
Julian just rose 10 points in Ash's brain, but go ahead, Cheryl.
I'm aware we're in America. I still don't prefer them. Besides, a wooden bullet would shatter on impact and do nothing.
I'm sorry, no shrapnel is gonna travel into the thing's heart?
Not deep enough.
The Vampire Diaries lied to me. Those bastards.
Imagine.
From the room proper, you can hear pizza's here.
Why don't you bring it in here?
All right. He comes toddling in with a stack of like 4 pizzas, and on one arm, and like some solo cups, on top of that, napkins, 2 2-liter bottles, one of Diet Coke, one of regular Coke. He's just gonna look around for some place to kind of set it out, and of course some paper plates.
All right then.
Yeah. Julian just like he pulls out a couple of the like wooden platforms and he's just like, here's a table. We
That
can-
works. Thanks, bro. He's gonna set some stuff down and let everybody else kind of mob the pizzas for a minute, including they taps one of them. He's like, this is the cauliflower crust one.
Director, while everyone is grabbing food, you said that the weapons were held in a cage of some sort.
Yeah, like in a
Is there a lock to this cage?
Yes.
What are the size of the holes in this cage? Like is it like really fine mesh, like chicken wire, or is it like a jail cell type like bars?
Maybe like 1.5 by 1.5 grid.
1.5 by 1.5. Oh no. Okay. If there's any ornate looking daggers or anything that is looks like it could fit through the cage of particular worth, Cheryl's gonna try and telekinesis one of those into her bag. And try and do it slyly. The thing that looks like it's worth the most at a pawn shop.
There is one very, very ornate looking dagger, but there's no way you would be able to get the handle through the cage.
And it's floor to ceiling. It's just so perfectly designed.
I mean, it's like a big, you know, those like huge cabinet, filing cabinet type like things. That it's like really big. It almost fills the whole wall, but
Alright.
the front is a cage.
Okay. Yeah, if there's no gaps or anything to pull that through, then she's gonna while looking at the pizza and imagining like she's gonna pretend to not show what she's gonna eat, she's gonna try and pick the lock with like a bobby pin or something that's gonna float over there and see if she can get that door open.
Okay,
Unlocked at least.
make me a dexterity crime roll.
Could I use any of my witchy abilities as I'm using telekinesis? Perhaps a willpower and something else.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It would be a willpower and crime. You're right.
A willpower and crime. Okay. I'm not a good criminal. But I have willpower. That is a 14.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, I have to roll one thing here. Where is it? Ah. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Don't be sorry. We all have those moments of like, what am I doing?
Yep.
Okay. It just I lost the window and I went yeah, you pick the lock. And honestly, after the fight and everything, like everyone's hungry. So like even Julian. So Julian is like, while he's not sitting necessarily with the rest of them, he's still eating pizza. So he's kind of focused on the pizza. And he does not see you picking the lock.
And does it successfully do I
Yeah.
successfully unlock it? All right.
Mhm.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much, director. I'll come back to that later, but I'm gonna eat some food real quick.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, great. So you guys, you have your pizza. Julian basically gives you guys a chance to process and decompress. He doesn't specifically say anything. He just lets you guys find kind of a natural stasis. And take things sort of at your own pace.
He's gonna plow through like 2 slices like he's a wood chipper. Just nom, nom, nom. Yeah, MP guy needs the calories, especially after shifting back and forth. I think it's gonna be like, all right, since we're still kind of feeling things out and in the interest of fostering trust, I will warn you all that I do have touch-based empathy, which means I can, feel emotions when I'm touching somebody.
Out of character, director. Sorry to interrupt you, Bat Kyle. Actually, I'm gonna backpedal on this interruption. Keep going. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have a question about something else that involves
Okay.
empathy. But it involves empathy. That's why.
Okay.
But sorry. I will backpedal on this.
Yep. No worries. Which is, if you notice, why I try not to be too touchy-feely with people. Feels a bit invasive, and I've already hidden a bunch. Just kind of wanted to put that out there. If you don't want me to know what you're feeling, we shouldn't make contact. I don't abuse it. It's pretty involuntary, but it is what it is.
Okay, now I have the question.
Okay.
So out of character, Ash also has empathy.
Mhm.
But I don't know how quickly that her quality is empathy 2. Like when you and I did it, we did like empathy 2 but drawback empathy 1, right? Because empathy is not always great. But I don't know how quickly that that actual power would come to be. So I guess my out of character question is does Ash just get shoved into every power they have, or is it a gradual thing?
From what I remember, because I just watched the first episode, basically you get all your powers in one dump, and then you have to
Figure them out.
hone them and figure it out.
Okay. That also helps me figure out what's going to happen next, because Ye says this and Ash literally just takes her hand and goes bonk on Ye's forearm. Hey, maybe if you don't want me to feel everything you're feeling, don't touch me. And Ash will just be like stopping the slice of pizza, because Ash also has empathy.
So what's Ash feeling?
So in this moment, Ash is confused, pissed off. So it's less anxiety, it's less sense of loss, because we talked about this going into the session, things like that. It was sense of loss, confusion, uncertainty, everything like that. Ash is still a little confused, not as much, but more pissed off, hurt, betrayed, anxious to shit. They have no idea. They've been shoved into this thing that they didn't ask for, but they now have to do. But also a sense of a vague sense of camaraderie, especially with Ye, because is hey, I have empathy, and Ash is oh my god, I've been feeling things all fucking day. Have at it.
Yep.
You want therapy?
Yeah, we're gonna do a very silent, we're gonna eat pizza, do this together right now.
Esty is over in the corner, is this some sort of mind meld thing?
Are they drift compatible?
Nice. Well,
because also, wait, before you answer, what is Ye feeling?
Yeah, that's what I was
Ash
gonna.
Yeah.
Ye is feeling concern. Ye is feeling a little also relieved that he's not just kind of in this crusade alone anymore. Hungry. I don't know if that's really an emotion, but it's there. He's
Hunger
feeling
can affect your emotions.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Obviously a little anxious, and a bit of sorrow.
Okay. Director, your call.
Um,
That's-
I think for those of them that are not involved in this mutual touch, um,
melding of minds.
Hands, touching
You-
hands,
Yeah.
touching me.
it looks very strange to them, and it feels awkward, and Julian's just gonna like swallow his bite of pizza and be like, if you ever feel angry or frustrated, just come over and you can beat up on the punching bags. And then he just kind of like looks away.
There is a moment that Ash feels like vague disgust as they're touching Yang. Right. Also though, Ash will look to like Estia and Cheryl like with like a nod that's like, just give me a minute. You know, like, this is gonna be weird. Like, we're not gonna make this weird for a long time. You know, like there's like an eye connection of just like, this is more clinical than it is like emotionally needed for Ash, if that makes sense. So she will like look at Cheryl and Estia to just like, just a sec. And like, once like she gets everything she needs from Ye, she'll like pull away. Like, you know, like it's
Mhm.
not this weird prolonged like touch type of moment. You know,
Voldemort,
like-
I can touch you.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not super prolonged. Like, it's a very clinical thing.
I grab.
But yeah,
annoying.
but
Yeah.
unlike Ye, who announced that he had empathy, like Ash just randomly reached out and grabbed his arm and like let it go. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't announce anything
So
on that.
what is each of your reactions to the others?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it's just gonna kind of sigh and be like, "Yeah, that's about what I expected." And he just sounds tired and a little dejected, but unsurprised.
Okay. Ash does look a little surprised. The sadness and the anxiety did catch them off guard because like Ye's so chill, you know, like Ye's super chill. That's their friend, you know, like they're the weed friend, you know, like they're super chill, nothing ever bothers them. So the deeper emotions does catch them off guard. So they probably pull away a little quickly and then just like go and sit down next to Cheryl and be like, gluten-free pizza. like
Oh,
it was a super weird fucking moment, and Ash is making it weirder.
maybe in a moment. Do people know that when you touch them that you can feel their emotions, or is it incognito?
Like everything else, it's I keep it incognito because you tell a normal person you're empathic, they're not gonna believe you, or they're gonna start talking about crystals and that bullshit. And that has nothing.
I'm sorry. Well, some crystals do have healing properties.
Okay,
I don't
but the
necessarily want to just take away a bunch of
okay, I
work that
apologize for the
people
way
have
that
done.
I said it. They want to. It's generally the crunchy granola doesn't have any power, doesn't actually know anything about magic. You know, bases their life off their men or women bases their life off their
Yeah.
zodiac and tarot card readings and all of that.
You probably get some yoga teachers that are like, I'm somewhat of an empath too.
I do.
I
and-
suppose that some people do appropriate that culture of being tied to the earth and an understanding of living beings
And what I
do
want to tell
we-
them is you're not empathic. You probably were just abused, and now you've got the ability to read body language, and you need to parse that somehow, as opposed to what I can do, whether I like it or
suppose.
not.
I don't think that that any time that I read any tarot for you, it's going to be as vivid or as revealing as any of your messages or your visions, but it might do well to center you and get you focused on
Look,
what's going to come in life.
it would definitely be more pleasant because I don't see anything good anymore, and I haven't for a long time. It's so. And now that I've brought everybody down, who wants some cheesy bites?
That's why I asked y'all if she wanted pizza.
Oh, I'm eating this
Just shut her up.
this other thing. It's always strange to me whenever you go to a party or something like that, and someone says, I have a dietary restriction, like a vegetarian or something, and they get one cheese pizza, and then every son of a bitch eats the cheese pizza, even if they're not vegetarian. So I want to let you have your fill before grabbing some of it, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying
Now-
to lighten the mood with an anecdote. I apologize.
No, I appreciate it, but I did want to ask. The rest of us have kind of revealed how we know what we know about this world. Estia, did you want to kind of chime in with how you have some familiarity with all of this?
Oh yeah, Ash has been like honed in visually on Estia despite all of the conversations they're having because they're like this snake in the grass to them.
Was Ash honed in visually on Estia like before or after she honed in on Jacob with the touching and the pizza and the they? My bad. I said she. I meant they.
They're all genders, so it's fine.
Hey, I misgendered my own NPC today, so
Happens.
Yep.
Ash is they she, so both work. It's okay.
So during most of this, Esty has been like, she was chilling on the back of the couch, and then she got like yanked into the dojo with Ash, and has just mostly been looking around, and you know, kind of exploring things. And she looks kind of over when Ye says her name, and it's like, I just kind of grew up around the occult a little bit. I have some books, and you know, a little knowledge goes a long way.
That's fair. Is that how you make the good?
Yeah.
I figured.
Julian's just like, I'm not gonna ask.
Yeah, no, if you want anything stronger than marijuana, let me know.
Ash very subtly perks up, but then I mean Ash is the party person with a capital P, right? Like weed
Two
is
capital
not their
Ps?
only vice, you know, like
Yeah.
so there's a little bit of a perk, but none noticeable because they're still in front of Tweety Bird over there. So, you know,
Yeah.
there's a silent perk, but that's it.
Yeah, so Estia like says that, she's like, if you want anything stronger than marijuana, let me know. And then or what did I say? Marijuana, cannabis, whatever. Anyway, she kind of glances at Julian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying really hard to use this name this time. She kind of glances sidelong at Julian, and she's like, you know, hypothetically speaking.
I'm
But-
so sorry. My brain farted. Hypothetically speaking, about what?
Nothing.
That's absolutely fine that you weren't paying attention.
Yeah,
Absolutely nothing.
It's for the best.
Pizza? And Ash will literally offer Julian pizza.
Yep.
I think he'll go, you know, I've never tried the cauliflower crust. And he'll just like take one.
Ash will gladly give him probably like 1 or 2 slices.
Yep.
Of the
He already
crust
had one
pizza.
slice of like the veggie, so
Perfect. Ash will gladly give him one. You're like, oh yeah, it's so great. You have a lot of books.
yeah. I'm supposed to know a lot of things, and I do. But if there's ever something I don't know, it's usually in the books.
Are they all yours?
If they're not mine, they belong to the Watchers Council.
So like somebody could come and take them from you if you, and they'll just kind of like stop and like grab whatever bottle is nearby and just like, never mind. Like they are
I think you'll find that when I'm not in my office, it is locked.
Out of character, can Ash roll a notice check for what Cheryl was doing earlier?
I'm gonna say no because it's been a while since. It's
Okay, well, because I wanted to like retroactive. Actually, can I use a drama point for Ash to notice what Cheryl did earlier? I mean, it's up to you. You're the director, but
let's
It's
break the
mostly-
rules and say yes.
It could be that the door just once it
yeah,
was
like
unlocked,
the
it's been
like the door
slowly.
like slightly like it might have
Yeah.
very slowly taken a while.
Oh, it's slightly more ajar. Absolutely wonderful.
Right, but I'm like, I mean, I can roll for it, but I also would be willing to use a drama point for this.
Make a perception notice to see if you notice that it's sort of swung open a little bit.
Okay. Perception notice. Okay. Yeah, again, you're the director, so if you say no, no,
No,
is
I
no.
like- I like
get that.
this.
But like,
I like
yeah, like, oh, my office is always locked. You know, like, that's mostly what I'm thinking here. No modifiers, right?
Correct.
Okay. That is going to be an 11.
Okay, you didn't like hear it open, but it looks like the two doors don't line up anymore.
Okay, like it like it looks like you could maybe jingle it. Like it might not, like you don't know if it's unlocked or not, but like it's not.
Yeah, it looks like you're not sure if it was like that before,
Right.
but
But it definitely
it-
doesn't look flush.
it doesn't look flush, no.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Is
ajar.
is Julian facing away from the cage?
Like the way I imagine it is he is facing the door and the cage is to his right, but he's not really focusing on it.
Okay. So yeah, Julian's gonna be
He's
like
trying to make sure that the college kids in his training room aren't freaking out anymore.
okay. Fair enough. Thank you. That helps my narrative. Yeah, so Julian's gonna be like, I think you'll find that if I am not in my office, my door is locked. Ash is just gonna be like, yes, sir, understood.
That actually does remind me.
That is out loud, by the way, Miss Cheryl.
That actually does remind me. I'd be curious if you've seen this image in either your stacks or in the back of your well-versed mind. And she's gonna set her bag on the right side of Julian and grab out like one of her like notebooks, and she's gonna go around the left side and like curl her hair off to the side so he can smell how great she smells. And she's gonna draw a symbol on a cultist symbol, probably one that's like just a little bit more obscure, but has like a lot of maybe multiple meanings.
Mhm.
And she's going to, in the back of her mind, try and get that beautiful looking ornate dagger off the wall. It's maybe not eye level. She wants to take something that's not like in the center,
Ooh.
and slide it through the door crack into her bag while she's distracting him. So if I can, I'd like to influence this man into paying attention to me, and then I would like to use some telekinesis to sneak something into my bag.
Does
I
this
mean-
happen after Ash says, yes, sir, understood?
Yeah.
Okay, Ash is paying attention. Just FYI.
What kind of blouse is she wearing? Just curious.
Cheryl?
So she had to switch with her friend.
Mhm.
She had to switch with Bethany B. So she was wearing.
No, I
Currently
thought she
she's wearing,
switched
like, an-
with, I thought
Oh,
she
Cass-
switched with Cassandra.
Cassandra. Yeah.
Oh,
I was
maybe it
gonna
was
say, she switched with Cassandra.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she switched with Cassandra. She's wearing an orange, like 70s style kind of like jumper. That I don't know, is very like kind of like ABBA-esque. Definitely looks like she could go rollerblading in the outfit.
Love it. Roller skating. 70s was roller skating, right? 90s was rollerblading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roller skating.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to make a willpower influence roll
Okay.
to
To
start.
to distract him. Okay, sounds good.
Yes.
I love that our Southern Belle debutante witch is also a fucking thief.
It's phenomenal.
All right, so that is a 15.
15 and
So
he's
4 plus 11.
I think he's just gonna do willpower doubled.
Oh, come on, load. Ooh.
Okay. You said you had a 15?
Yes.
Okay. He is, first of all, overwhelmingly what's the word? Like occupied, I guess,
Mhm.
by the scent of the garlic and the perfume. You can't tell if he likes it or not, but it's definitely distracting him.
And I'm drawing something that looks like a symbol of Ra, but it has some like Sumerian or origins. So it's definitely this not it would be an interesting conversation. Like she does know her stuff, but definitely is like trying to bait a nerd into talking about something for a long period of time while
Yeah,
she
yeah.
slides the bag over.
He definitely, he's like, okay, well that could be one of a couple different things. And so he starts to explain, if you drew a line this way, it could be this, but if you drew the line slightly differently, it would be something very different, etc., etc. Now make me I need you to make me 2 rolls here. Willpower, the book is weird about this. Okay. I like this more. Because
Alright.
technically rolling willpower plus occultism or sorcery or whatever just gives you levels in strength. But if you want to be sneaky, you're going to need dexterity. So
Alright.
I'm going to give you the fact that you can manipulate or like long distance telekinesis. That's fine. But what I need from you is a perception dexterity check.
A perception dexterity.
Yes.
Alright.
You can just roll and add the 2 numbers to it.
Can I interrupt to possibly have Ash ironically help Cheryl? Because she was already paying attention to the door, right? And has now maybe seen movement behind said door. And again, the enemy, like I said earlier, enemy of the enemy is my friend. She trusts Cheryl more than she trusts Tommy, like Tweety Bird over here, you know. So Julian, sorry. She trusts Julian, or she trusts Julian less than she trusts Cheryl. So as Cheryl's like doing the whole thing with the scent and everything like that, and trying to vaguely distract Julian, Ash might try to like become part of the conversation to also help distract or whatever to maybe help Cheryl finish whatever it is she's doing over there. Ash doesn't care what Cheryl's doing, but Ash is more than willing to help Cheryl distract Julian.
Okay, make a willpower influence.
Okay, to help Cheryl.
You help, yeah.
Yeah, because she was already paying attention to the door.
Yeah.
In that vein, since Ye's just kind of hanging around, can I get a roll to notice what's going on for Ye? He's not super observant and he's pretty high, but
yeah, just perception notice.
Perception notice. All right.
Okay, no modifiers. For Ash, that's a 16 to help Cheryl influence Julian.
Julian is just kind of like he doesn't know what to. He's a little confused because you guys. Honestly, I think you're doing this so much that it's almost making him a little more suspicious.
Fair enough.
He has
'Cause
one
you
success.
guys went from you don't notice anything.
I mean,
You're
Ash wasn't like,
involved
fair.
with pizza.
I mean, Ash went from being like, "Oh, you want pizza?" to being like, "Oh, pizza." So like, that's fair. But also like, she wasn't trying to be like, "Oh my god, look at me," like Cheryl was. She just was like, "Oh yeah, that's interesting. Like that's kind of interesting."
It's probably the first piece of information he's offered up that's in his wheelhouse. But I rolled a 10 for my perception dexterity.
Okay. Let me roll one more thing.
Yeah, Ash isn't trying to like super be like, "Oh my god," so yeah, like like they're just trying to.
So, I was just thinking.
Yeah. So if you had noticed, Ash isn't trying to like do that. Ash is just trying to like. They saw
It is-
movement in the
yeah.
cage, and so they maybe tried to like step in line of that. Like the whole like, okay.
So Ash got 4 and Sherry got a 10, so it's 1 success, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's weird to Julian that like suddenly like both of you were so like against this, and then suddenly you're like really interested, but you guys are visibly blocking his view of the cage. So in that respect, he does not see what's going on.
All right. You said that there
Emotionally,
was
it's so weird.
one
Emotionally, it's
additional
weird.
roll that I would have to do. You said that there were 3 rolls?
That was before I did the thing with the dexterity, so you're good.
All right. So.
Actually,
Oh.
because you open the door, I want you to see. How stealthy can you be? Do a dex crime roll.
A dex crime roll? I wanna efficiently using my telekinesis float an object across the room into my bag, but I will do a dexterity crime roll.
3.
If you want, you can do a dexterity doubled, but
Oh, sure, I'll do a dexterity doubled. And I will also spend a drama point if I can.
What's
Improve this roll.
funny to me is that Essia would actually be interested in whatever Cheryl is drawing. So, like, they also have Essia kind of leaning over from behind everybody, like kind of
But like, not influencing what's happening behind
No.
them. It's just
not
No.
actually interested, or even probably not even noticing like the goings on. Just like, oh, what are you drawing?
All right.
And-
Well,
Through this all, when he's done with pizza, Ye's just flopping out on one of the mats and putting his fingers behind his head. He's not involved in this at all.
I can use a drama point to improve a roll, right?
yes.
I'm just trying to double check what the mechanical advantage is for that.
Let me pull it up. Sorry.
Why is it search and drive as opposed to drama point? How dare you, Adobe?
Adobe. Drama points are over here. Okay. So okay, here's what we can do. How many points is that? Okay, so you could do that, or you could. Okay, so here's the thing. Technically, so the drama points have specific like reasons behind using them. Things like you want to make a heroic feat, or you want to reduce the damage you've taken, shrug it off, or you want to catch a break. So like if you wanted to bend the rules a little, you could use plot twist, but you'd have to explain to me how you getting the knife is helping you with your narrative.
My narrative. All right. And can this be that it's a part of just the overall story?
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to send us all a little bit to a flashback that Ye was having earlier today, and he wasn't able to particularly parse it out. And that is of Cheryl at a pawn shop pointing at a Smith & Wesson 357 revolver with a beautiful dagger in her hand as a plot twist to be that is how she's going to afford her weapon.
Oh. Okay.
So it's normally a 10, and then you can add whatever bonuses that would be from the plot twist drama point.
Yeah, that one just gives you what you need. But you only use it once per session.
All right.
So yeah, Julian is overwhelmed with suddenly interested students. And he's not like, he's a little curious, but again, he's surrounded now and he can't see what's going on. So he does not see you slip this dagger out of the cage and float it over and then into your bag. What do you do after it's in your bag?
Would you just look at the time? I gotta get out of here. Teach, are those Hostess cakes in your desk? And she's gonna scoop up her bag and then goes, well, if I don't run into any pointed-fanged weirdos tomorrow, I'll see you all in class, I suppose. And she's going to slam the door that leads into his office, and at the same time close the door to the cage. He's gonna try and make it all one swift movement.
Okay, I think to do it at the same time, I want you to roll again.
Absolutely. I love rolling.
Make me
all of the rolls.
Just make me a double dexterity.
Oh. Wonderful, that's a 5, but I'm out the fucking door.
That's 5 successes.
Boom.
No, it's just 5.
Oh, it's just 5. Okay.
I am not dexterous. I'm a glass cannon. I'm not good at anything physical. I am amazed I've passed more than one check here.
So we hear slam and then clink.
Yeah, and then
yep.
Pretty much.
That's spell correctly. There we go.
So Cheryl's just gone, right?
Cheryl's just gone.
Gone. Okay.
Estia is looking down at the symbol like, I don't actually think that's a real symbol.
Actually, I'm gonna end it right there.
How would I know? I don't know.
Oh, how beautiful. How beautiful. Thank you so much.
That's the perfect line to end it on.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a real symbol.
I put points into Gung Fu. I need it. I need this. I have nothing else I'm good at.
You guys can get this was a big session for you guys, so I'll give you guys 5 experience points.
Ooh.
Those are character points, right?
Yes, character points.
Because those automatically become drama points, or can you just spend them at will?
You can spend them to buy drama points.
Ooh, okay.
You can also buy certain attributes or up your skills or your or attributes. Sorry, you can buy certain qualities. Like Eddie could use them to get more sorcery levels for Sherry. and stuff,
Mhm.
or buy a better library level or whatever.
Okay. Chris, I'm
So
going to talk to you off cam and between sessions on some things for mine.
yeah. And then yeah, you can use them to get drama points. You can there, it should all be in the notes that I put in the Google folder.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So all of that being said, thank you guys for a wonderful, if not slightly chaotic session once again.
Sorry, I love you.
It was just oh, there's a lot more resistance than I was expecting, but it kept me on my toes. I like that. Julian is not turning out the way I expected him to, but it's interesting.
Don't all DMPCs though? Like,
Also, if I ever misgender somebody, I swear to God I don't mean to. I for some reason my brain just calls people she. Like, it doesn't matter what your gender is. I will sometimes call you she, and I'm like, why? So I'd like to publicly apologize for misgendering anyone ever. And just say, for posterity, I don't mean to. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Bat Kyle. Thank you, Gloriosa. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Mana Queen. Thank you, everyone who watched on the stream. Thank you, producer Kevin. Thank you, everyone who has watched on YouTube. For watching all the way through. Give us a like. Engage in the comments, because I don't know, tell us how you felt about the game. Just be gentle.
And hit
Take
the
your rage out
bell.
on me. It's fine.
our thins are only mildly thick.
Most importantly though, be good to each other and have a great night. Bye.